What's the most promising new technology in payments, ad tech, and fintech? Every year, the CardLinx Association polls the largest merchants, tech companies, and payment companies to find out the answer to that question. We publish those results in an eagerly awaited annual study. Today, on the show, we give you a special preview of the insights for 2020. In this special edition of the FinTech Friday podcast, sneak preview, 2020 key insights on card linking, fintech, and ad tech. What's hot and what's not. I'm Silvio Tavares here in San Francisco on August 28th, and this is FinTech Friday, brought to you by CardLinx. It's great to be with you. 2020 can easily be described as the year where everything went upside down. There's the pandemic upending global commerce, protests for racial justice that have further interrupted business as usual. And in the past few weeks, unprecedented fires have been sweeping across the Western USA. So now more than ever, it's important to keep close tabs on whether our assumptions about commerce, payments, and fintech are still true, because so many of the key factors driving the industry may have changed. Every year, the CardLinx Association, the leading global association for digital commerce and card linking, polls and studies the industry in the top 10 national markets around the world. And every year, we find some really surprising insights. 2020 is no different. So today, we're going to give you a sneak peek at the results before we release the full study in early September. Joining me on the show today is one of my colleagues from the CardLinx Association, Rebecca Donahue. Good morning, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm great, Silvio. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. So some of the listeners may not know you. Tell the listeners what you do at CardLinx.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the Director of Meeting Services here at the CardLinx Association. And what that entails is all of the planning and logistical coordination of our industry conferences all over the world. A lot of things in 2020 have changed, so we've had to move everything online to stay digitally engaged with our members due to COVID-19. So my main roles this year have been the planning of all of our online conferences, our virtual monthly webinars, and assisting in the production of this podcast. Another thing we've done online a lot of this year is our polling. We would typically distribute our annual survey at our in-person conferences, but since that has not been possible this year, we've made the survey accessible online to our network. So just a little bit about how we polled our companies and who we polled. We polled companies in over 12 countries, including the United States, China, Japan, Germany, and France. And then we also polled multiple industries, those including large merchants, large banks, large payment companies, and large tech companies. And just to name off a few of those are Microsoft, Samsung, Rakuten, Mastercard, Visa, Louis Vuitton, Lululemon, Bank of America, UBS, and many more. So coming out of that study, Silvio, what was the most surprising finding from this year's survey?
Well, to me, Rebecca, the most surprising finding was how mainstream and common card-linked offers have become. Card linking, or CLO, as we often use the term, is a technology where a consumer takes their existing payment card or credit card and then they enroll it in a mobile app. The mobile app is usually a mobile banking app like Bank of America, or maybe even a general purpose app like Yelp or Rakuten. And so once the consumer links the card, they can then add offers and discounts directly to the card from leading merchants. And all they have to do to actually use the offer and redeem the offer is go ahead and use the card to pay using their mobile app or just paying with the card at the merchant store or website. And the beauty of this, of course, is that you don't need a paper coupon, you don't need loyalty cards or promo codes, it just works. So this is a technology that's been gradually growing in terms of its use. But this year, we asked in our poll how many banks had adopted CLO technology. And a quarter of the respondents said that for their country, more than 50% of their top banks have card linking programs. So basically, around the world, the majority of big banks have actually adopted now this new CLO technology. So banking has really embraced this, but merchants have also been doing this. So we polled our companies and asked them how much of their merchant advertising budget is going to card-linked offers. And last year, 38% of merchants told us that they dedicated 5% or more of their advertising budget to card-linked offers. This year, that number jumped from 38% to 64% of merchants dedicating 5% or more of their marketing budget to CLO. So that's a big change in just 1 year. And to me, it just points to the fact that CLO is now very much a mainstream technology embraced by both merchants and banks. And increasingly, we're also seeing now tech companies adopting it.
That's really interesting. One of the things that has really changed everything this year is the pandemic. And I know that when I drive through the downtown area where I live, many of the local merchants are still not open. Instead, they're trying to sell their goods and services online through e-commerce. Historically, CLO has been used to drive in-store purchases, not online or e-commerce. What did the study show about how CLO has adopted because of the pandemic?
That was definitely another big surprise. Every year we ask in our study, what is the best merchant category to use card-linked offers? And every year for the last 4 years, the winning category has been restaurants. And that didn't change this year. Restaurants won again as the number one merchant category. However, what did change this year is that e-commerce merchants was the third most popular category. So e-commerce merchants have never made it before to the top three until this year. So basically what's happening is that merchants are using card-linked offers to drive e-commerce orders from their websites. We have a number of merchants in the association that have done this really successfully. Total Wine, the largest independent wine and beer distributor in the US, has done it. Harvey Nichols is a great merchant from the United Kingdom. And traditionally, they've sold more from their physical stores. Now they're using CLO to get people to buy from their websites. And that strategy is very much new for 2020, and it seems to be working really, really well. And the data suggests that merchants are probably going to continue to use CLO for driving online sales even after the pandemic has passed.
One of the things you just mentioned is what happens after the pandemic has passed. That is an area we ask about in our study. Specifically, we polled the question, what is the most promising future technology in commerce? Can you share a little bit how our industry participants responded to that question?
This is one where me personally, I probably could have guessed the outcome and probably been right. But basically, 49% of our respondents said that card-linked offers in mobile wallets was the most promising new technology. Now, so we've seen this technology gain a lot of traction this year. Some of the more notable, popular, famous examples are Apple Card, which launched last year, but this year really started providing cashback offers at specific merchants when you use the Apple Card through the Apple Pay mobile wallet. Samsung also just recently launched a new card in the last 2 weeks. And when it's used in the Samsung Pay mobile wallet, it provides additional discounts and loyalty points. Now, the mobile wallet with offers technology, it's already been well established in markets in Asia. Both Alipay and WeChat Pay, they allow linking discounts to cards in their mobile wallets. But it's really, really taking off in North America and Europe. Apple and Samsung are just two examples. Now, I think the reason mobile wallets with linked discount offers, why they're growing so much in popularity, is because they're really easy to use. Basically, almost everybody now has a smartphone. Mobile wallets are also viewed as a cleaner way to pay compared to cards and cash in this era of coronavirus. And then finally, mobile wallets, they can be easily used both online and in store. So they're just really convenient to use. And all of those factors are really driving an explosive growth in the use of this new technology.
Now, one of the big changes that happened this year is that the big economies, including the US, China, and Europe, all went into a recession. So how did this have an impact on any of the findings from the study?
Yeah, that is one of the bad things that happened. Economies that were basically doing pretty well going into recession because of the pandemic. So we asked our study participants, what is the favorite reward type for CardLinx offers? Because you can reward consumers in a bunch of different ways. You can give them cashback offers, loyalty points offers, or you can even provide buy one and get one free offers. But for the past several years, more and more consumers really started gravitating towards loyalty point offers. But this year, consumers have really reverted back to preferring cashback offers versus loyalty point offers. 40% of study participants this year said that cashback offers were their top choice. And to me, this reflects what you were asking about. It reflects the slowing economy and the recession. It's the fact that consumers are really price sensitive. And the best way to reward them is giving them a cashback discount.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Silvio, for sharing these insights today. I'm sure our listeners appreciated the sneak preview. I also wanted to remind our listeners that the CardLinx Association will be publishing the full results of the annual study in early September. That is just a few weeks away, so check it out at www.cardlinx.org to get the latest on our rapidly evolving industry stats.
Hey, Rebecca, thanks also for being on the show. I hope we can have you back, and I really appreciate all the great questions and you being on the show with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Silvio.
Coming right up, some closing thoughts on the week that was. 2020 has indeed been a year of changes, and as we wrap up the traditional summer holiday season and head into an election season in the US, it looks pretty clear that there may be more changes ahead. One thing that our annual study made clear is that merchants, technology companies, and banks are adopting technologies that make digital advertising, shopping, and payments much, much easier. The key drivers of these changes are, number one, the increased use of card-linked offers. Number two, mobile and e-commerce taking center stage. And number three, demands for discounts by price-sensitive consumers. At CardLinx, we are committed to staying on top of these changes for you. So stay tuned here in the weeks to come. For FinTech Friday from the CardLinx Association, take care of yourself and take care of each other. God bless you. This is Silvio Tavares, signing off.